Okay, we're going to talk about how to approach travel with your nutrition in mind. Reminder that I do have a full resource on this and how to approach travel and trips with your nutrition, with your fitness in mind. So make sure that you reference that for even more information. And if you don't have that, just message me and I will direct you to it. So when approaching travel, having a plan is really, really important. So let me actually backtrack. Planning helps you make educated choices. It helps create a roadmap. It helps bring awareness to your choices, to potential roadblocks, to what is going on. And this does not mean that there is going to be perfection ahead. It doesn't mean that your plan is what's set in stone and you need to stick to that. Planning just helps give you some kind of a guiding light. It's really, really important to do. It helps put your mind into a frame of being solution oriented and just behaving in ways that support you. So creating a plan is going to be huge. When we go into creating a plan and thinking about our upcoming travel, we want to take any previous information into account. So trips that you have been on before, or travel that you've done before, what are things that have worked really well for you? What were things you did that were supportive? What were potential challenges that you faced? What are potential challenges that you may face on this trip? What are things that you thought were going to work that didn't? Taking all of these things into account can be tremendously helpful. And this is how you build skills. This is how you practice and get really, really good at this. This is how you master traveling without high levels of stress and keeping yourself a priority. Prep and planning ahead, again, as much as possible. This is really important. Do not make assumptions, because you know what they say about people that make assumptions. But making assumptions will likely lead to chaos. For example, people that I've worked with in the past have thought, okay, well, they have somewhere for me to grab lunch while I'm traveling. So I'll just grab lunch at the airport on my layover. And then their flight's delayed. They have no time to get lunch, or what's being served on the plane isn't good, or it's something that they can't eat. So instead, in a situation like that, it's okay, I need to make sure that I have some food packed for me because I can't assume that I'll be able to get any. Putting some thought into what type of trip is this? Is it a work trip, or is it a vacation that you've been waiting for a year plus? Those are different situations. What's the intent of this trip? Is it a business trip and the intent is to do networking and make money, create opportunity for business? Or is it to relax? Again, different modes, different ways to approach. What does this trip mean to you? Those examples that I just said, they're going to have very different meanings to you. Think about, where are you staying and what is available to you. This is going to help with your planning and with your prep. What are the things that you can control, you can manage, you can influence, and what are the things that you cannot? What roadblocks might you hit? And how would your best self approach those? When you prep and you plan ahead of time, you're not in it. And when you're in it, that is not when you're making your most thoughtful choices, right? These things aren't totally thought out. You have to be fast. So this is why planning ahead for different situations can be really, really helpful. So then you actually do know what to do in a situation. And then how do you want to feel during this trip? How do you want to feel after this trip? Those are going to be really big guiding light questions for you in how you behave and what you do during. Thinking about not just the present you, also thinking about the future you. For example, if you go on a trip where it's a vacation, you want to feel relaxed, you want to feel refreshed, you want to feel like your battery is full afterwards, then the present you may think, I want to get another frozen drink at the pool. But the future you may not appreciate that. That may not lend to you feeling refreshed and recharged and relaxed and like good in your body. So maybe it's like, hey, present me is going to drink a little bit more water first and then go from there. Some strategies when it comes to travel that can be really, really helpful. Packing foods, packing meals, packing snack options. Knowing the rules for plane travel can be beneficial here. There's a lot of things that you can bring on the plane. If you're in the car, bring a cooler or an insulated bag and put stuff in there. Order groceries or have some meal deliveries to where you are staying. Or you can stop at the grocery store, the market, the gas stations, looking for options that are supportive for you. But don't count out a grocery store or even local food prep companies, because those can be so helpful and also can help save you some money. Bring a water bottle with you. If you're flying, bring an empty water bottle and fill it up for free in the airports. That's going to be so huge. If you're traveling in the car, bring a full water bottle with you and maybe a couple gallons of water to help refill them. Where you are staying, maybe you book an Airbnb so you have a kitchen so you can cook some of your own foods, or you have a fridge to store things in. Or if you're staying at a hotel, if it's more long term, maybe you try to find one that has a little kitchenette or has at least a microwave and a fridge available for you. If you're staying somewhere for longer periods of time, you do want to be able to cook a couple things for yourself. Hotels usually have options of some cooking materials that you can use. When you are going out to eat or you have events in mind, build those in, and you can reference the video and the resource on approaching events and events for that. Events and meals out. Oh my gosh, my brain just farted. I'm sorry. Keeping balance in mind. And this word, I probably shouldn't have used it here, but thinking about kind of where your day stacks up as a whole. So maybe some meals are going to be a little bit lighter, a little bit more basic, a little bit more normal for you. And then some meals are a little bit heavier. If there's alcohol involved, if you're like on a vacation, let's just say, it's, you know what, let me not drink all day long and I'm going to have a glass of wine at dinner. An approach that works really well in this situation for people is thinking about like 1 to 2 meals a day are going to be pretty dang simple. It's going to be a protein, a complex carb, a healthy fat, thinking about fruits and veggies, and then one meal in the day is going to be a little bit more indulgent, a little bit more rich, and maybe not as balanced of a plate. Thinking about prioritizing what usually lacks And I will tell you that what usually lacks when it comes to travel and you being out of your norm are protein and fruit and vegetables, fiber. So looking for those things, adding in where you can or supplementing where you can, and prioritizing these where and when you can. Also knowing that these may be a little bit less than normal, and if you're still paying attention to them and you're prioritizing them, then that's what really, really matters. And then adding in movement in a way that feels good. Maybe you do want to try out a local gym, or you do want to get some workouts in your hotel because that's what helps you feel better. And that's awesome. I think that going and training at different gyms in a local area can be a really, really fun thing. But also, this doesn't need to be part of your travel and part of your trip. Maybe your movement fluctuates a little bit. Maybe you lean really hard into walking during your trip. You're going to walk a lot of places, and that's what helps you feel your best and helps you have the time that you want or need to have in that trip, versus prioritizing workouts. And that's okay. Find something that works for you. And again, make sure that you reference the full resource where you'll get a lot more in-depth information for approaching travel and trips. All right. Talk to you soon. If you have any questions, let me know.